What if this holiday was about resistance? Standing on the side of love even when it's difficult. What would love require of us? I believe it would require that we harness its power to stop oppression by speaking up and acting out with love as often and as loudly as we can when the situation arises. See, the world desperately needs people of faith, people of our faith, to speak up and change the tone of the conversation in the public square, on the beach, in grade schools, in the military, in a voting booth, everywhere you go, whether you are 8 years old or 80 years old, they need you. Because, see, love is our gospel. Love is our good news. But there is no such thing as a message without a messenger. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, love actually is everywhere, and I am a messenger. Now, I often do this when I ask you to talk to somebody you don't know. I often do this twice because I know you turn to the person you came with first. So turn to somebody you don't know and say, love is actually everywhere and I am the messenger. There you go. Why not? Why not? Why not, as Hafiz suggests, why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying with that sweet moon language what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? Why not? Last June, the Unitarian Universalist Association launched what they call the Standing on the Side of Love campaign. The campaign works with congregations and communities to confront exclusion, oppression, or violence based on identity. Whether that identity has to do with sexual orientation, gender identification, immigration status, religion, race, ability, or any other label that society uses to limit a person's rights. It's about living out our theology that says love reigns. We can be so proud this Valentine's Day because Marlon is quite literally standing on the side of love in what I believe to be its truest form. He is standing up on behalf of all of us for our partner church in Uganda and Reverend Mark Kiemba, as Reverend Mark stands up for what he believes, that all people are children of God and that God makes no mistakes. Now, Marlon wrote in an update, and you can actually find this on the blog on our website. He said, "There are times in our lives when we have to decide, here I stand and I can do no other. And sometimes standing on the side of love means risking imprisonment and even death. The Ugandans who are taking this stand love freedom more than they love imprisonment, more than they fear imprisonment or death. Such love is something that they learned from Jesus. And there is nothing more dangerous to the status quo than fearless love." They are not asking, he says, if we do this, what will happen to us? But if we don't support the gay and lesbian community of Uganda and their families, what will happen to them? He says there are times when the church colludes with injustice and evil, like in its support of slavery and racial segregation. In those times, people must rise up to save the church as much as society. This is one of those times. There are moments in life when we have to take risks to support what we believe to be God's will for humanity. And, he says, it is my strong belief that God's will is for people to be free. So if you are interested in the atrocities going on in Uganda today, I invite you to read the New York Times online this morning about a same-sex couple and the gay agenda. It will turn your stomach. And they're blaming Western civilization, by the way. Or on the internet, you can also read the Ugandan newspapers online, like the Daily Monitor. It too will enlighten you. But I've had a lot of people come up to me since Marlon's departure and ask, what can I do? We cannot all go to Africa. I've said to many of you over the past week, and I firmly believe this to be true, that Marlon could not go to Africa without us. Without this church, without his family, without the institution of the church and all of these individuals, some who gave their money and the rest of us whom he represents. Our participation in this church locally gives him something to stand for. 1,800 plus voices whom he represents. So what can you do? We can educate ourselves, not turn a blind eye to what's going on in the world. And we can reimagine Valentine's Day. Let this day be from now on when you not only buy tokens of affection for your significant other, but let this be a day to remind you that every other day of the year is an important one to stand on the side of love. Will you stand with me? I'm going to ask, this is the shape of a heart with wings. And if you'll hold it up nice and high, I'm going to take your picture. And I'm going to send it to Uganda. One. Oh, hello, hang on. It didn't like that one. There we go. Now, if you'll turn and face Jill, she's in the loft. Aren't they beautiful? Thank you. You may be seated. Oh, wait, hang on. She wants this side again. So we will put this on the website. You can be seated. We'll put this on the website, on the special Uganda page that we have up. I'm going to email it directly to Marlon so that he'll have it himself. So, yes, thank you. Standing on the side of love calls us to be the Valentine for all of those who are excluded, for those who are oppressed, for those subjected to violence based on their identity. And we need not be the martyr. We just need to be the resistor. So how else can you help? Maybe in a letter to your senator or representative or an editorial about an injustice that you see, an instance of not treating someone equally or as a child of God. Or maybe just simply with your presence, in a kind word or deed. You don't need to tell everyone in the world that you love them, although it doesn't hurt. On Valentine's Day, let us remember to fall in love again with the world and to show those we love and those with whom we come in contact that they are beloved. On Valentine's Day, let us resist apathy and silence and recommit to a pervasive, persistent, and relentless love for humanity, for all souls. Today, I invite you to be someone's Valentine, to resist hatred and oppression and stand on the side of love. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Amen.